I've been listening today to the diatribes against the repeal resolution that we're working on and think that some things need to be answered. The Republicans are not trying to throw 30 million people off of their insurance. There's been a huge increase in the cost of health care. That's not how it was supposed to be. The prices were supposed to come down. Yesterday, we took the first step in fulfilling the promise of repealing Obamacare, which will pave the way for real health care reforms to strengthen the doctor-patient relationship, to expand choices, to lower health care costs, and to improve access to quality, affordable, innovative health care. As I discussed yesterday, while Republicans will start by repealing Obamacare immediately, we will ensure a stable transition in which those with insurance will not lose access to health care coverage. This will allow us to move step by step to a new set of reforms, listening carefully to the advice of millions of Americans affected and making sure that we proceed wisely, doing no harm. There's a common misconception that some of my friends across the aisle have promoted. It's the idea that Obamacare was a success and that repeal will be tearing down a functioning program. That's not true. Obamacare has put our health insurance markets on the brink of collapse in many parts of the country. And what Republicans face now is an imperative to do something that Democrats couldn't bring themselves to do when they had control. And that's to fix the problems they created. Obamacare became the epitome of a sacred cow for them, and any changes, as you can see, unless done by executive action, were out of the question. Interestingly, President Obama recently admitted in October of 2016 at Miami-Dade College that the law has real problems and that, in his words, quote, "There are going to be people who are hurt by premium increases or lack of competition and choice." End quote. That's the President of the United States talking about Obamacare. In that same speech, he went on to call these issues growing pains. I think that's a troubling blind spot about this law that he and many of my Democratic colleagues share. Millions are facing impossibly high health insurance premiums for plans they may not even want to have. Costs are going up, and they can't afford it. Somehow, these casualties of Obamacare don't deserve relief, apparently. They're just written off as growing pains by the authors of the law. A recent poll by the Gallup organization showed that more Americans continued to disapprove, 53%, than approve, 42%, of the law, and that a majority of Americans want to see the law changed. Let me highlight that point again. A majority of Americans want to see Obamacare either changed or replaced altogether. In fact, since passage of Obamacare in 2010, there has never been a majority of Americans who supported the law. A quick glance around the nation quickly explains why. For more and more Americans, there's only a single insurer from which they can select health plans, a monopoly. In fact, on federal exchanges, 1 in 5 consumers will only be able to select plans from a single insurer. Many residents across the country only have one choice of a health insurer. That's including my home state of Wyoming as well as the entire state of Alaska. What does this lack of competition mean? Prices are surging for hard-working families who now have to choose between unreasonable insurance rates or an unreasonable fine. And this is the exact same procedure congressional Democrats and President Obama used to secure passage of portions of Obamacare. After Congress passes this repeal resolution, it can then move forward on reconciliation legislation that will provide for the repeal of Obamacare and pave the way for real health care reforms. I think members are looking forward to an open and serious debate about the future of America's health and its health care system and the importance of restoring the trust of hardworking taxpayers